Good afternoon and welcome to episode 5 of the Stocking Stories. Now I know what you could be thinking. Anna, are you really wearing any stockings today? And the answer is yes, I am. And these are a beautiful beige colour of stocking. They are a sheer heel and toe. Not like the ones I've been wearing where you've got the reinforced bit. These are completely sheer on the toes and on the heel. But they do have a colour on the welt, only at the top, which you might have just spotted this beautiful chocolate colour. Isn't that gorgeous? It is beautiful brown chocolate autumnal. That's why I chose it. It's got a little white line there because right at this point is Secrets in Lace logo all the way round. I think that's fabulous, obviously on both stockings. The early 90s, I worked for a very large hotel chain, and they are the biggest hotel chain in the world. And I was a sales and marketing director for them. And I travelled all over the world. And they wanted you to look extremely smart. You've got to remember this is the early 90s, of the time with the big shoulders, still over from the 80s. Bright lipsticks, box jackets, bright blouses, heels. Heaven knows how I managed to walk in these heels. But you did. And I also got a clothing allowance. Can you imagine that? It was £1,000, my first clothing allowance. And I went to shops like Jaeger and Austin Reed and Viella, Country Casuals. Oh, the clothes I had and the colours. I felt $1 million in this beautiful bright cerise pink box jacket with this navy skirt, navy hosiery. Now in those days, I started off wearing hold-ups, and if you don't know what a hold-up is, it's like a stocking, but an elasticated top. And they're great unless you got hot, and then they'd start to roll a little, which was always a bit of a tricky problem, and I had 2 nightmare situations, one on a tube and one in a meeting, and I thought, let's look at alternatives. Didn't like pantyhose, not a great lover. Only for winter, opaque, woolly ones to keep your legs warm. So I got myself into stockings, literally. Now, I wasn't aware there was anything more in those days of 4 straps. So one at the front, one at the back, on each side. And so I was at this meeting, I was doing a presentation, it was all going wonderfully. I'm stood at the front, we're almost at the end, and I heard, because they were quite a distance away, I heard ping. And I realised the back suspender on one of the stockings had come completely undone. So it was sort of drooping at the back, and I thought, okay, that's not a major problem. I can deal with that. And then I heard the other one ping on the back. So at this point, I've only got the 2 suspenders holding the stockings up. On this skirt that's here, you wore quite short skirts in those days. It helped to flirt, that's all I'm saying. I got a lot of business flirt. I know I really shouldn't say that on YouTube, maybe I should. But I enjoyed it, they enjoyed it. You had to work with the banter. It may sound very sexist now, it may sound completely wrong way of working. It was a different time and a different era. So luckily, the presentation finished and I managed to get back to the big table and push myself under it in the hopes that the other 2 didn't go. Firing questions, I'm chatting away, and I come to cross my legs like this. I love these stockings because they make quite a noise. And as I did that, this one here came undone. And I thought, oh, this could be fun. If I stand up, is it going to jiggle all the way down? What shall I do? And my lovely friend Claire was sat next to me, and we'd been making notes, and I pulled the notebook this way and made a little note and said, stocking issue, not sure I can stand up, so we'll have to come up, can we come up with a plan? And she sort of went, yeah, and wrote something on the paper, basically yes. And I thought, what are we going to do towards the end? Anyway, the end starts to come to it, people stand up, and the desk was quite high to it, or the table was quite high to be fair. So as I stood up, the stocking rolled down. Not all the way, so I clamped my legs together. It wasn't going anywhere. And I stood up ever so gingerly like this, shook hands, and then sat down again. And I thought, what can I do? And because everybody else had gone out of this lovely room with like a big boardroom table, I literally sat, unrolled the stocking down, took it off, did this one, took that off, put my heels back on, got my stockings, put them in the bag, walked to the ladies and redressed. Phew. So that was the narrow escape of the slipping stocking. Never had that again, bizarre. And when I actually looked, the little metal piece had actually come away because I'd probably worn this garter belt that much and washed it in the machine, which now I know not to do. So I saved myself from a slipping stocking disaster. Well, I hope you enjoyed the beige stockings, the chocolate top, and the lovely story. I will see you again next week for episode 6. Now, I do have a lovely little offer for you, but I'm not going to tell you all about it on here. I'm going to do another vlog because the offer is so good, I think it deserves its own vlog. And it is actually going to be on Annabel's Adventures because I'd like you to visit there. There are so many lovely videos on there of cooking, fashion try-ons, trips, my Rotterdam trip, a London trip that's coming. But this offer from Secrets in Lace is spectacular. They're offering a selection of things. I nearly gave the game away then. So as soon as I know I've got it up there, I'll let you know on here on a coffee chat early next week, and you can go check it out on Annabel's Adventures. Any questions, put them in the comments, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful October weekend. I hope you've got lots of lovely things planned. I'm off out this evening to a beer tasting. I'm not a great beer drinker, so this should be amusing in itself. Might even do some photos and pop them on the community. On here, go to the community, have a little look. You can see pictures, little writings, and that's where you can join the membership site as well. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.